This week on the Dallas Famous Podcast, we sit down with Leslie Austin, a singer and songwriter whose path has taken her through worship music, years singing in cover bands, a busking residency through the Dallas Busker program, and now a growing catalog of original music. She opens up about growing up as the new kid over and over, the years she spent believing music outside the church wasn't hers to pursue, and the night she had to win over 9,000 people who came out expecting anyone but her. Stick around to the end for a live performance of her original song, You and Me. It's a great one. I know you'll dig it. Here it is. I'm Andrew Sherman. I'm a Texas transplant who has always been in pursuit of art as a career. I've played in bands, pursued an acting career in Hollywood, but I found it behind the lens of a camera here in Dallas, Texas. I was born in New York. I've lived in Chicago, Los Angeles, Austin, but I love Dallas. There's a magical artistic scene in Dallas that mostly goes unnoticed to the outside world. This podcast is focused on what makes it so special and the people who make it thrive artistically. If you don't live here, and even if you do, you might not have heard of them. This is the Dallas Famous Podcast. The Dallas Famous Podcast is supported by the Mullen & Mullen Music Project. The music project was created by Mullen & Mullen Injury Law Firm, championing the independent music scene in North Texas. Welcome back to the Dallas Famous Podcast. We're in Deep Ellum at the Tucker Art Project Studio. Andrew Sherman, and today we have the lovely Leslie Austin.
Thank you.
She's a local musician, I guess, not just local, international as it were, because you don't just stay in the area. You've gone to Italy a few times.
Yeah.
And, anyway, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Truth be told, we're doing it again because we just, things happen and we're doing it again. It's not the first time, it won't be the last. But anyway, thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
So, when people say, Leslie, what do? Do you say singer? Do you say musician? What do you say?
I usually say singer-songwriter because musician-wise, I can't play very well enough to call myself that alone. So
right.
I'm working on it, but yeah. Singer-songwriter.
I kind of feel like with that voice, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you'll at the end of the episode, you will hear a fantastic song. Leslie made the echo in this room work to her advantage, so that's something to look forward to.
It's a good room.
Yeah, very good room. So, Leslie, Dallas native?
Yes,
Okay.
I was born here, but only lived here about a year when I was young, and then moved around several times growing up. Lived in Atlanta for a while as a child, and then Chicago for 3 years, middle school, and then my last 3 years of high school were back here around DFW. So,
is that weird? Like, were you kind of
yes,
the new kid all the time?
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
It was brutal. Especially girls are meaner, they're already so mean, and at age 13, that's the worst. They moved me in the middle of 6th grade when it was already the worst time ever, and these girls were vicious. And every day I came home crying, and I built a lot of character, and I actually just wrote a song about it. I haven't done anything with it yet, but I didn't realize I knew it was bad, but I've had to work through that stuff even later in life, realizing how much that affected everything else, a lot of things that I did.
My sister actually moved to Philadelphia when my niece was younger, and I don't feel like she's been the same since because of the way those girls treated her in that school.
It was,
yeah. Makes good passionate music though, no?
Yeah, it's sad because it affects your whole identity. That much rejection and bullying, abuse, basically making someone feel that terrible and unaccepted that often when they're that age is if you don't do stuff to get healed, it messes you up,
Yeah.
So it's pretty sad.
So you're moving around a lot. You're dealing with that as well as regular stuff. What role did music play in your early life?
I grew up, music was always a big part of, just feels like part of who I am. I was dancing and singing and just makes me alive, music. And I was always listening to music and going to concerts, and I would even record myself singing in my room by myself. But music it's a big part of that, especially more uplifting, obviously happier stuff that makes you want to like move and dance, because I'm very much an empath and I feel everything like tenfold. Even like sad music, I can't, like some people it's easy for them to listen to sad songs and sing sad songs all the time, and I can't stay down there that long because
Interesting.
So yeah, but music definitely, and God was interestingly, I came to know him at a young age when I was 10, so then that actually helped save me going through a lot of that stuff with those girls, and because otherwise I would have probably done could have done a lot of really bad things. Self-destructive things.
I'm one of them. But okay, so at what point did you start singing and doing stuff with the church?
Yeah, I did. The first time I was about 13 or 14, I sang with two girls for a big church that we were going to, and we actually messed up and were laughing halfway through it because of nerves. But that was my first time singing for a big crowd, and we were kind of writing like worship stuff together a little bit. But and then I started singing more so after in college. I started singing with worship teams, like a campus-wide worship team, and then traveling after that with this guy this pastor that would go around doing conferences, and I was on the worship team for that. But I didn't really start with bands doing secular music till after college.
Right. I'm trying to picture, so like you're in your dorm, like writing worship songs?
No, I wasn't really writing worship stuff, but I would sing with this. It was like once a week they met, and like thousands of students would come to this. This guy would speak, and then, or the worship team would lead worship, and then this guy would speak. And so I was singing with them, and also like this other little ministry thing, but it was all, that type of stuff. But I really wasn't writing a lot of my own stuff at that time. Probably, for some reasons I already kind of started getting into, but didn't feel like I was allowed to like pursue my own music career type thing outside of like the church world.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you like why the worship music, like you're away from home, you could do whatever you want, and that's what you gravitated to. And
I got asked to sing in a guy's band, and I should have, but I felt like I wasn't, especially because I was at Baylor and they're even more judgmental. If you're singing in front of the campus on a worship team, they're holding you to an even higher standard.
Wow.
Like they don't see you drinking or not. If you have one drink, then you drink. You're on the worship team, or if you're dressed a certain, they're watching everything you do times a million if you're like on a worship team like that. So I just felt like I wasn't allowed to sing in bands or whatever. But
but you wanted to sing, and this was a way that you felt like you were allowed to.
Yes.
So interesting, like the permission thing. I mean, like we have these things that rule our lives, and it's supposed to be for protection, but then sometimes it
hurts you.
It goes off.
And it's wild because God made me with these desires of, singing and dance, doing all these like entertainment things. But the church as a collective, the church can, when you're singing on these worship teams and it's like what they're basically saying without using all these words is like, especially to a girl, put a bag over your head, don't be too pretty, don't wear anything too tight or distracting, don't do anything distracting that's about you. This has nothing to do with you. It should not be about you. It's all about God. So basically hide yourself and dumb yourself down and just sing worship, and that's, you're in that for enough years. You feel like it's almost a sin if you want to pursue music outside of the church or do anything that's about, seemingly self-focused or whatever.
That is intense. It's not a world that I'm familiar with. And I did not realize it was that extreme.
It is, and I'm sure people have experienced even more extreme things, but I've trying to sing for other churches. People want to look at my Instagram, make sure it's, look what I'm wearing. They're like judging everything to make sure you're not going to be distracting in even the slightest way on that stage for men, make men stumble or be tempted by you. Like it's the whole bit.
We might
So,
have
yeah.
to pause for me to throw up because that is freaking nauseating. But it is what it is. Okay.
It does, yeah. So it's had to work myself out of all of that with God, and because I still love God, but He's freed me from a lot of that bondage that
Yeah.
actually comes from man-made religion instead of what He is saying.
I think that is a really interesting point, and I get it. Like, yeah, it's like you. I think it's commendable that you did not lose your love for God throughout all the people that were kind of twisting.
Yeah, it's easy to, and a lot of people do.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
church, basically, people in the name of God have hurt so many people that people are angry at God, but it was never God that hurt them. You know, it was the
these
people
Yeah.
claiming God.
Wow,
So,
that's
yeah.
very
It is. I did
succinct,
have to
yeah.
work through a lot of stuff, but
Yeah. Well, so okay, and then you started at Baylor, and then you continued with worship music for a while after that? Or
no, I basically transitioned into bands, singing with like cover bands.
Okay. What was the start of that? Trip?
I was working out at a gym and also working at a gym in Dallas, and this guy that was a country singer. I don't know how he knew, if I just met him and he found out I sang, but he wanted me to start singing, asked if I would start singing with his band, singing like harmony and backup and some lead stuff here and there. And he was doing both cover music and his original music. So that's the first person I started singing. And we would, travel around some and do big events and open up for some people here and there. So it was great. A good first experience to not be like, all out there by myself, but figuring it all out still.
So when this whole time up until this point, were you listening to other music?
Yeah.
So
I always listened to, Michael Jackson was my favorite growing up, like, we were obsessed, like watching Thriller, and my dad would show it on this big screen in his house, and we were like obsessed. But, I always listened. My parents were never like, don't listen to secular music, because some people
I've had a lot of guests who their parent, like one of their parents, like burned one of their CDs or something. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, they never were saying that. Thankfully.
So when you joined this cover band, you weren't having to learn every single song from scratch. You knew some of it or a lot of it.
I wasn't always listening to all country music, so I definitely had to learn some for that reason, but not because, I definitely always listened to secular.
Was this the band that had the R. Kelly, open for R. Kelly? No, okay.
No, it was a different band.
Well, I said his name, so
I know.
now we might as well hear about you opening for R. Kelly.
I know. Yeah, we...
you didn't meet him or anything,
This was
right?
before what?
You didn't meet him or anything, did you?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
This was before he got in more trouble, I think. But
this is before people knew that he was a bad dude.
Yes, right. So I was with this cover band, really good cover band in Dallas, and we got asked to open for R. Kelly at this big. It's called the Oil Palace in Tyler, Texas. I think it seats like 9,000 people.
Oh, like a regular
It's like a venue. Yeah.
And that's just the name, or was it like related to?
I'm not sure what the story behind it. I don't remember, but I believe it's something like the Oil Palace. So, and it's like a 10-piece cover band, and we're all dressed like nice, like cover band, cheesy, And first of all, this is an R. Kelly concert, so these people are not expecting a cover band to open up for R. Kelly.
So
that's already like
strange.
Strike number one against us, And I can handle a lot of crowds. Like we're all performers are used to like crowds being hit or miss. It might be a bad crowd. They might not be interested, but this was like, 9,000 people waiting for R. Kelly, and it was predominantly black. And when I say predominantly, you could have maybe seen like 3 or 4, like maybe white people somewhere. But, and I sang in a gospel choir being the only white girl. So I'm not usually intimidated by like, different types of crowds. And there were 10 of us on the stage, and we were a mixed band, like ethnicity wise, like, and we played like, a lot of soul funk stuff so it's not like we were like super white up there, but it was a cover band,
I love how this is super white.
So, I know. So, we start playing, and 1 or 2 songs, and we're playing, Bruno Mars or something, trying to like, and you can just, like I said, I'm an empath, so I feel even more like we're all already like early feeling like, wow, this is like the toughest crowd. They were like, we're up there dancing and singing, and they're like,
Oh God, it's a nightmare.
I mean, it was like you could just feel the disdain, you know? And so finally, the guy in our ear, we're wearing in-ear monitors, and the keyboard player that owns the band is like, okay, this isn't working. We need to change it up. We got to rap. And so he calls a rap, and I'm the one that did a lot of the rap song, or the rap in the song or whatever. So he said that, and we're all just feeling so uncomfortable. I mean, it was really like they were just like not vibing they were like, they probably would have left except that they paid to see Art Kelly, so they were still sitting there. So we were like, we got to turn this on. And so I was like, we're wearing like a dress and heels, and I was like, thinking right before my rap starts, I'm like, I got to get gangster. I'm like hiked up not like up, but I was like squatted down, and I'm like, smart money, betting I'll be better off without you. No time, I'll be forgetting all about you. And the people were like, ah, like they stood up. There was people in the crowd that like finally stood up, and they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, we got him a little bit. It was like, I mean, it was so lame that like just this cover band up there, but we like had to try to like get,
Did you have enough rap songs to finish the set?
No, we don't have that many rap songs. We went back to then we did a Motown, then we did another like funky thing, and then we were like, okay, let's do another rap song.
Right.
But it was
oh God,
it was rough. It was one of the roughest crowds, like
there's
just
like nothing worse than the first song. You're like, oh, this
you
is
can
gonna be
already
a long
tell.
show.
Yeah, and we're just like having to like fake smile and pretend like they like us the whole time, when we know they're
Oh.
But anyway, it was a memorable experience.
Yeah, it makes for a stronger stage presence in the future, I guess. Yeah. So you're doing these cover bands. When did you go, I want to write my own music. I want to perform my own music. What was the thrust from that?
I mean, I had always been thinking about it, but I think that I honestly let multiple factors stop me, like telling myself, oh, it's too late. I should have done this a long time ago, or I don't know how to go about all this. Like, I don't play well enough to like do my own thing. So it's like finding the right people and putting it all together and figuring out how to do it all. Now it's like, there's kids are brought up doing this stuff, and everything's online and everything's like, but I just didn't know if I was equipped to or I just didn't know how really. And no one was ever like helping me. And I honestly at one point thought I should have done this a long time ago. It's probably too late to start original music, And then I just kept shoving it down and kept singing in cover bands, trying to ignore it. And finally I was like, and the other issue that I told you I felt, the church world makes you feel like it's a selfish, sinful thing to like pursue this, your own music, acting, modeling career, anything like that outside of the church. So finally I just was like, I kept surrendering it and praying about it. And I'm like, this is not going away. It just keeps like coming back up. And I felt like God was like, I made you with these desires. Like, you don't have to not do this. It's okay. You can still, people honor me in different ways. You don't have to be singing in the church to be still honoring me with your gifts and resources and talents, So I finally was like, okay, well, I might be older than most people when they start original music, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I'd rather die trying than die with regret, and do what I feel like I'm literally made, like he made me with these talents and gifts. And like, that's your biggest desire. Like, where do you come most alive? It's when I'm doing these things, And so I finally started focusing on original music in like 2012, 2013, and didn't release the first song until 2016. So.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know the answer, but maybe I forgot. You weren't writing worship type music at all, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, it was, I just started, the first band was it was like a celebrity chef guy here in Dallas, Patrick Stark, and he put together we were kind of mixing the food and the music and the sound in this whole experience thing. And he's a guitarist, and we started writing together for that project. And that really, gave me a lot of like freedom, without all the like stress of like sitting in a writing room, like let's write this in a few minutes for this purpose and this, you know, it was just a easier way, more relaxed to start honing in on the writing and working through stuff. So that was a really great first kind of experience to be putting out a lot of songs in a lower pressure, and we would perform them. They weren't all perfect. Sometimes like this song didn't have a bridge yet and we would play it, and you know, but yeah, it was cool.
Right. Yeah, you said something, I'm going to repeat something you said, like that you felt like God wanted you to do the music that wasn't the worship music because it would put you in a broader audience or a broader stage or platform or whatever.
Yes, I feel specifically called to be like the church outside of the church, like the church in the world, so to speak, because a lot of people are so turned off by churches and what people have done or said or in the name of God, that like God needs a lot of us outside of the church, like to love people the way Jesus did. He was hanging out with the murderers and the prostitutes and everyone, you know, like, and those are a lot of people that became his disciples, you know, and because he loves everybody as they are, and it's okay for me to get up and sing like secular music. I'm not singing about like bad stuff, you know.
Right.
I'm singing about life, and I might talk about God in between my song, or about the song I am performing here on this, You and Me, is about the person in your life who believes the best in you when you don't believe it in yourself, and they see your potential far beyond what you see, and they're always there encouraging you. And a lot of people have that person as their spouse or their parents or their best friend. And when I wrote the song, I wrote it about God, because he's always the one that's only, you know, sometimes he's the only one there for you when nobody else is. And he definitely sees way better in you and me than we've ever seen in ourselves. So that's who I wrote the song for. So I talk about that on the stage, and a lot of these people at my show will maybe never want to go to a church, but they will come watch me perform. And I did have a guy in LA that came up and was like, thank you for saying what you said. I never hear people out here in LA talk about that, and I needed to hear that, you know, or whatever. So even if it's the one guy that like that helped him, and you know, I feel like God, he can use us in anything, in you and your photography and your interviews. Like you can pour the love of God and hope into people in everything that you're doing, you know, without being in the church all the time.
Sure. Yeah, LA is interesting with religion, because it's either completely like do not talk about it, do not bring it up. And then I worked on a TV show, and I had never seen a prayer circle. I just never saw one.
Like, and they just prayed before the show or something?
Yeah, and I walked out, and I was about to make a joke because I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I was like, oh, this entire, like 2/3 of this show are religious, and they're praying. Yeah. Maybe the show got canceled, so maybe they didn't pray as well as they could have. No.
Maybe it was the devil stopping the show.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was just interesting. And, you know, because I was raised Jewish, and I don't really practice at all. I won't talk about my feelings on God here because I don't have like specific, but that kind of opened my eyes. And then moving here and having these conversations, it's like it makes me think more about all this stuff in a different, more positive way.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Okay. So you started writing music. You did some stuff with this chef. At what point was it like the Leslie Austin experience, as it were?
Let's see, we kept doing that for a few years, and I was still writing, and then I was still doing some other cover bands, but that was right around the time when I started, after that is when I started working on my own songs. So I met with a producer around here that I knew and kind of co-wrote with another guy, and so that was probably, right around that, right after we had started that band, was probably 2012, 13, and then I was working on my own songs.
When you're writing, how does it go for you? Do you like come up with lyrics? Is there a melody in your head? Is the song in your head?
It has been any and all of those, but the easiest way for me is usually when I'm writing with a musician, and I tell them, I say, play something that's kind of a mix of like this song and this song, like that feel. Start just messing around with stuff, and they might just play like a chord progression, and like sometimes that's all I needed, and I just can write the whole thing. Usually I'm writing the vocal melody and the lyrics, but because of my limitations with instruments, it helps me a lot to write with a musician.
Sure.
But I have written by myself. I mean, I can play, some, and I've written by myself, but it's like where I go with the song is more limited,
Sure. Are you able to, when you have the music in your head, is that easy for you to convey that to a musician? Or?
Yeah, once I have it in there, and sometimes I've just been like in the car, I'll just come up with, do a voice recording on my phone. But yeah, once I have any sort of, it's easy for me to once we get, sometimes it's that beginning, finding the chord progression, or like the foundation, the bed, like the bed of what it's going to be helps a lot with a musician, but I can do it. It's just faster when I have a musician to do it, to help me out with that foundational part.
Gotcha. So at a certain point, you decided you wanted to try this in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So what was the thought process behind that?
I felt sort of like I was hitting a ceiling in Dallas, just in a lot of ways, and I just felt I had been going to LA anyway, on and off for different reasons, and I always kind of felt drawn out there, and because of even I feel called to be sort of a light in the entertainment industry, in the regular entertainment world that's like so dark and twisted usually. Like there needs to be some of us that are not like in the Illuminati and like, you know what I mean? So
that's funny.
I felt kind of called to go out there, and I felt like Dallas had a lot of limitations for me, and even just the type of person that I am, and Dallas felt real kind of corporate in a lot of ways. So I finally moved out there in 2018, and I was out there 2 years. The pandemic happened, so I ended up back here for a while because LA was kind of
Really
crazy
shut
town
down,
for like
yeah.
2 years, the whole 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I went back there in 2022, and I still would have been out there at this point, but my boyfriend from Italy was back and forth a lot trying to just move here, so we would stay here for like playing shows here and staying here months at a time when he was here, and it just made more sense to like be home base here again.
Right. Tell us why Sean Penn said he was listening to a legend. Is that something like that?
It's supposedly what he said.
Yeah.
I got asked to do this really cool Dolby show in Los Angeles, and it's a man that out there he mixes sound for film and television, and in his house he has a full-size huge movie theater, and he has been working on some different projects, an app, and developing things. And at the time they were doing more live stream stuff because it was after COVID. It was like 2021, I think this was. And so Dolby, he was partnering with Dolby to do like a live stream, working on different projects with this app they were developing. So they were doing a couple different test shows with Dolby before they had like some major A-list artists do it. And he asked me and this other guy that's an incredible electric violinist, Dorian, and he helped Dorian kind of put the band together, and we did a mashup of like Etta James and Led Zeppelin with like 3 different songs. It was wild, but it was live with Dolby, and it's Dolby Atmos they're doing, and like so they were kind of testing, and now they use that video. He shows everyone that comes in this theater, and at this point now he's had Taylor Swift. He mixed Taylor Swift's movie that she just did of her concert everywhere.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She's been in there. J-Lo was just in there. Like he's got all these. Now he's talking to these big artists about he's developing things much farther with that whole project. But anyway, people come in there, and Sean Penn has done his own project. He has a project for, I forgot exactly what it is, but he's done some events in the space with the movie theater. So this guy John shows our Dolby video to people in there to show what the room can do, what the sound can do, what the app can do. And apparently he said after he saw the video, he said, I don't know who that I had never seen or heard that singer, but I felt like I was seeing and hearing a legend.
Wow.
And he was married to Madonna, so
Yeah.
I
gotta
so
tell
I
you,
use his quote. I don't know if he, remembers that he said
knows
it,
that he
but
said it.
yeah.
I mean, just the performance you did in here, your voice is crazy good.
Aw.
It is really just a really rich quality. I don't know. I don't know that I've heard you like that bare, just
Yeah.
your voice, and wow.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you. That
and
means
I know
a lot.
there's more to it than just being talented, but you definitely have that part handled. So
Thank
just
you so
throwing
much.
that out there.
I really appreciate that.
You, I guess you did you've done a little bit of modeling or acting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to do. I didn't like pursue all of that when I was younger as much. The music was always my focus. Well, later when my parents were never like, let's nurture all this stuff. It was go to college, get a real job. But yeah, when I got asked, someone found me actually on Facebook one time and asked me to come. It was a casting agent asked me to come audition for the Dove Real Beauty campaign they were doing.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting it. I got a film for a print ad and a commercial, and they flew us to like London and Thailand to do all this this huge campaign. And I was like, maybe I should get with an agency because I could get used to this. They flew us like first class, and we got paid a bunch of money. Well, not a bunch, but more than like just a regional regular thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Commercial. So it was. So then, I didn't actually try to get with an agency till I moved to LA in 2018, got with an agency out there. And the acting I've always wanted to do. I mean, I did the commercial acting, but that's, I wasn't, a lot of times you're not speaking in the commercials or it's not. So I always wanted to also get into the theatrical drama stuff, but haven't taken a class. But I've now I first was doing some extra work and Landman, that was here, and I was in one a featured in the Surviving the Cartel. I don't think it's out yet, and then more recently, one of the producers on that Surviving the Cartel asked me to be in his project he's doing called The Bartender, and he's pitching it now to festival. It's already been at some festivals, but obviously the idea is to hopefully get it picked up by one of the big networks.
Sure.
But I actually had speaking lines and a more actual real role in a more drama type setting. So that was awesome.
What'd
That'll
you
be
play?
fun. I'm one of the bartenders that owns this. It's really an undercover this guy used to be a special intelligence, involved in all this stuff. And
Right.
the bar is kind of, it's like him trying to move on with his life, but he's still involved,
Right.
And own this bar with him. And so, yeah. And then some people from his past, are, coming back into the bar and the situation. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I saw some photo of you on Facebook for
With the gun?
secret agent or something, or a cop or something.
oh, that one. Yeah, that was Surviving the Cartel. One of the
okay.
days of shooting for
Okay.
that is.
It's funny because I saw that because I watched I just recently watched all of Blacklist, and I was like, that she could totally be an agent in that or counter agent. I saw it in a split second in that photo.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
It's fun.
Let's so you mentioned that your boyfriend's from Italy. Let's talk about how you got to Italy and that whole scenario.
Yeah, I met him here in 2022 because one of their friends from Italy has been living in Dallas a long time, and he brought them over to play a tour in Texas and Mississippi because they do blues music. Mm-hmm. And one of my friends knew.
Wait, Art does blues?
Art, yeah,
Oh.
and he's incredible. He knows more about British and American blues history than any American I know.
Wow.
He knows, he has studied it since he was 5 years old. He plays he's a mix of Eric Clapton and Stevie Ray Vaughan, and he blues is his that's his thing.
Huh.
So they were playing a jam to kick off their tour here, and I got invited to the jam, and we jumped up and did a few songs with them. And then they said, we're thinking about starting this cultural music exchange where we want to bring some Americans to play a tour in southern Italy, where we set up the shows and kind of play with them. And I was like, yes, please sign me up. And
Seriously.
I mean, they were actually debating. I didn't know at the time, with a lot of artists in Dallas they were looking at or talking to. And they ended up bringing me and this guy that plays keys, that is the one that knew one of these guys. And yeah, it was incredible. I mean, I think it was our first show, was in a castle outside overlooking the ocean with, all these, it was just, I'm like, it was incredible. So, and it's interesting over there, the people, they set up chairs. A lot of the shows are not like here, sometimes we're playing in these, we're like the background music that if you, quieter, can you play quieter?
Yeah.
And over there, like a lot of these shows, they have chairs set up in rows, and these people are like they don't need their alcohol. They just like, even if there's no bar, they sit there and they listen and they clap and they like, brava,
Yeah, they get really engaged.
Yeah, and they're actually like listening, want to just sit and listen to your music. It's refreshing,
Nice,
Yeah.
I remember you were saying that when I experienced it, like they're not really in a rush to do things.
No, you cannot. It'll test your as an American. If you're doing something besides a vacation over there, it will test your patience like you would not believe. And yeah, I tried to record some songs over there this past year, and we didn't finish any of them. The drums took like 6 hours to set up in the studio, and coffee breaks, cigarette breaks for everyone, and it was just. We can learn a lot from them about the no stress lifestyle and like hanging out with people and just, little by little, but it's tough when you're trying to actually get things done and still trying to do a lot with your life,
Yeah.
It's really hard. Yeah.
Also, you were a part of the Dallas Busker program.
Yeah, the Dallas Sounds.
That's right. And that was pretty cool. You're not doing that right now.
No, technically, I mean, once you're in it, you're sort of always in their database, and they still reach out occasionally with opportunities for things. But yeah, it's kind of the year that you're doing it. As far as busking, you busk around Dallas, and then they occasionally have other like showcase opportunities or other things. But yeah, I did it when I came back from LA. I saw it and was kind of interested. Didn't fully understand what it was, but I knew it was busking some, and I thought that would be, even though once you've played for tons of people, it's a little strange sometimes to be playing on the street for no one, potentially no one. And
a lot of it was no one. I saw.
Yeah. But I thought that it would be a good way, because I did always feel on the outside of the Dallas music circle, like I was talking about, the clique, the kind of inner circle, and I felt like because they're associated with the Dallas Music Office, I thought this could be a great way to get to know different people and get involved in the scene, on a different level. So, it was cool to get to know a lot of the singer-songwriters also in the program, and just put yourself out there. It is very humbling in some ways, some of those shows where people are just. Yeah. But it's also a cool way to test out music, like new songs, and test out a different style of playing. So, yeah.
I wonder if you're lucky that it was last summer, because this summer is so brutal out. Like I couldn't imagine even going and taking photos of it this summer.
It was brutal. I mean, there were times, I have pictures or videos where like my face is so red and
oh God.
It was.
How long do you do those sets? Like how long are they?
They're 2 hours.
2 hours. Okay.
And usually, you take a little break in between, but yeah, it was.
I almost feel like it's worth it just to be part of the community and to be on the roster. Yeah. And all the things you said, I think I acknowledge it's not for everyone. And I remember I was at the audition this year, and they were like, the panel was asking questions like, how do you do in front of a big crowd? I'm like, ask them how they do in front of nobody. Yeah. Because that is harder. Yeah. It's when you have people out there, the energy's there with you. It's like
totally
when there's nobody
like you feed off people's energy. So what are you going to be like when there's people are walking by you, not listening at all, nobody cares? Can you still turn it on and give it full energy? And because you never know, like there might be the one homeless guy that's sitting in the corner. You don't know, he might work for Universal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
right. I just know when I took a photo of you guys, you seemed like you were on, and like I don't know what you did when I left, but you were on.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, and that was you were at AT&T Discovery District,
yes.
which was, you know, but no, I try to
That's
like.
probably a little more traffic there.
Yeah, and even though they're not necessarily just sitting staring, but I still am like that. I try to be. I mean, you know, there's no one in here, but because it's our passion and we're playing music, and if like to me, what's the point? I can watch a singer that's incredible vocalist, like, but if I can't feel anything from them when they're performing, if I don't feel anything, and like if it seems just sort of all performance based and hollow, like I'm like, oh, they have a good voice, but I don't. It doesn't do much for me. So
100%.
for me, I'm still gonna try to feel the song and get into it, even if nobody's watching. You know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, and doing it here, we're on camera.
Yeah,
so
we
a lot
are.
of people
That's
are
true.
gonna
We
be
are on
watching.
camera.
But no, it's obvious in your performance that you're a passionate performer. That it's coming from somewhere deeper.
Yeah.
It's not a technical.
Yeah, and I don't
thing.
have technical training, really. You know,
really.
But
Okay, yeah, you're gifted because that's sound like you've done some. I guess you've had experience, but not maybe training.
I have had experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what does the future look like for you for your music?
Well, you know, I've been sitting on a lot of songs that I haven't been able to record because of the lack of financial capital.
Money is a thing involved in this.
It
sadly.
is,
Yeah.
and it's really. I feel like limited me a lot because I've studied the new music industry. I know the things I'm supposed to be doing. I know I'm supposed to market songs. I know, but when you don't have, but I mean, that's just, you got to figure out a way. And either I was going to get investors and then I kept tweaking the investment. Like after the pandemic happened, I was like, no, I can't ask for that much money. And, so anyway, I'm working on trying to, I can't just live the rest of my life saying, I don't have capital. You got to figure it out, you know? And, and I want to do things well. That's why I don't want to just do something on, on no budget that's like terrible just to put something out there also. So I'm working on trying to just figure out make it move forward at this point because I need to keep recording my music and do what I'm supposed to be doing, get the stuff out there. And so, but in the meantime, trying to still enjoy whatever I can do until that happens.
Yeah. And I mean, you're performing constantly.
Yeah. And I am going to Italy next week.
Oh, cool. For how long?
For another tour, like mini tour, 2.5 weeks.
Okay. How many shows will you do in 2.5 weeks?
I mean, this time it's less than normal, but they also continue to set them up after I arrive because of the way some of the shows that are city-based or common-based, like they don't find out the money they're getting from the European Union till like the last minute, and then they're like, oh, can you play a show? Like, so some of them we probably won't set up until I'm even already there. Right now we have like six or seven set up for the 2.5 weeks. But... And this is, it's not as like formal as in the past when we did like full on tours. But and Ari, of course, is playing with me, but he's also playing with another artist and some of his own shows that we're having to work around this time. So, but yeah, it's incredible to get to play over there regardless.
Yeah.
So,
God, I've been there once, and I would kill to go back. It was so gorgeous and. Everything tasted amazing.
Yeah, and
I remember the worst meal I had was better than a crappy meal here.
Because it's not toxic with poison.
Yep, you can really taste it. It's crazy.
I know.
Yeah. Is there anything we forgot that you wanted to tell us?
I don't think so.
I mean, this is great. Stick around to listen to Leslie's amazing voice. We're going to have a song after this. But thanks so much for coming down again. And it was great. Thanks again.
Thank you for being willing to do repair things here with from the last time. I was a little off, but and glad we could get the song going today. And I was gonna play it myself, but it would not have been near what it would have been somebody
fine,
else
but I'm guessing that
I would have been more in my head.
Yeah,
like,
you're better
because I'm not great on guitar.
You're easier focusing on your voice, and that's what we wanted to hear. It worked out great. Camden's awesome. Anyway. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I appreciate you.
and willing, 'cause you know I get tired. Living right, bar time, running a one-track mind, but I'm dying inside. But every time you look at me, I feel a disbelief, key to my peace of mind. You're pushing me on the run into the unknown, knowing I'll be alright. You've always seen me, made me believe it when I was losing my mind. So past my devils, call me your angel, gave me wings to fly. You and me, you and me. Moving on, same song, thinking I'm hella strong, but you know it's a lie. Troubles come, people run, they only on when it's fun. Then I'm left asking why. But every time you look at me, you see who I'm meant to be. No more just getting by. Time's up, clock's out, I'm gonna live out loud. No more room left to hide. You've always seen me, made me believe it when I was losing my mind. So past my devils, call me your angel, gave me wings to fly. You and me, you and me. Storms on the rise and walls caving in. Feels like I'm running into the wind. My body is tired and my mind closing in. Then all that's left is remembering when. Storms on the rise and walls caving in. Feels like I'm running into the wind. My body is tired and my mind closing in. Then all that's left is memory when. You've always seen me, made me believe it. I was fooling my mind. So past my devil, call me your angel, gave me wings to fly. You and me, you and me. You and me made me believe. Oh, yeah.
I'd like to thank Leslie Austin for joining us today. Check her out live in DFW when you can. Thank you to the wonderful Tucker Art Projects Gallery for allowing us to record there. Theme song Unstoppable by Salim Narala, and the outro is The Place to Be by Electric Ants. Thanks again to the Mullen & Mullen Music Project for their support. Like, subscribe, and share the podcast, and we'll see you next week.